Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mayank Kulshrestha, working as a senior assistant professor in a School of Pharmacy, BBD University, Lucknow. Today we are going to discuss national programs on various diseases, which is a part of the subject social and preventive pharmacy. The paper code is BP802T from BCom 4th year 8th semester. So now today we are discuss some program of HIV and AIDS control program, TB integrated disease surveillance program, National Leprosy Control Program, National Mental Health Program, National Program for Prevention and Control of Deafness, Universal Immunization Program, National Program for Control of Blindness, Pulse Polio Program, National Health Intervention Program for Mother and Child, National Family Wealth Care Program, National Tobacco Control Program, National Malaria Prevention Program, National Program for the Health Care of Elderly, Social Health Program, role of WHO in India, National Program. So we can going to discuss these different types of program. First, we are going to discuss HIV and AIDS control program. So, in case of HIV/AIDS control program, India AIDS control program is globally acknowledged as a success story. The National AIDS Control Program (NACP), launched in 1992, is being implemented as a comprehensive program for prevention and control of HIV/AIDS in India. Over time, the focus has shifted from raising awareness to behavior change, from a national response to a more decentralized response, and to increase involvement of NGOs and network of PLHIV. In 1992, the government launched the first national AIDS control program with an IDA credit of USD 84 millions and demonstrated its commitment to combat the disease. NACP was implemented with an objective of slowing down the spread of HIV infection so as to reduce morbidity, mortality, and impact of AIDS in the country. National AIDS Control Board was constituted was an autonomous national AIDS control organization was set up to implement the project. The first phase of focused on awareness generation, setting up surveillance system for monitoring HIV epidemic, measuring to the ensure access to safe blood and preventive service of high risk group population. Apart from that, in 1999, the second National AIDS Control Project was launched. Apart from that, there are lots of time to time there are lots of AIDS program will be there. Now, uh, we are going to discuss the program from leprosy control program. So, in leprosy control program, since the inception of National Leprosy Eradication Program, in the year of 1983, spectacular success have been made in reducing the burden of leprosy. The burden of leprosy. The country achieved the goal of leprosy elimination as a public health problem. That is prevalence rate of less than one case per 10,000 population at the national level by December 2005, as set by National Health Policy 2002. Although prevalence has come down at national and state level, new cases are being continuously detected and these cases will have to be provided quality leprosy service through GHC system. The plan object was elimination of leprosy, that is prevalence of less than one case per 10,000 population in all districts of the country. Strengthen disability prevention and medical rehabilitation of persons affected by leprosy. Reduction in the level of stigma associated with the leprosy. Now, we are going to discuss the National Health Program, National Mental Health Program. The Mental Health Care Act 2017 was passed 7 April 2017 and came into the force from July 7, 2018. The law was described in its opening paragraph as an act to provide for mental health care and services for person with mental illness and to protect, promote and fulfill the rights of person during delivery of mental health care and services and the matter connected therewith or incidental threat. The act suspended the previously existing the Mental Health Act 1987 that was passed on 22 May 1987. The details can be found in the given details can be found in the net also. Recognize the person with mental illness constitute a variable section of society and are subject to discrimination in the society. Families bear disappointed financial, physical, mental, emotional, and social burden of providing the treatment and care of these relatives with mental illness. Person with mental illness should be treated like other person with health problems, and to environment around them should be made conducive to facilitate recovery, rehabilitation, and full participation in the society. The Government of India launched the Mental Health Program in 1982, keeping in view the heavy burden of the mental illness in the community and to absolute inadequate of mental health care infrastructure in the country to deal with it. The District Mental Health Program was added to the program in 1996. The program was strategized in 2003 to include two schemes: modernization of state mental hospital and upgradation of psychiatric wings of medical colleges or general hospitals. The manpower development schemes become part of a program in 2009. The three main components of the object of mental health program are to ensure the availability and accessibility of minimum mental health care for all in foreseeable future, to encourage the appreciation of mental health knowledge in general healthcare and in social development, to promote community participation in the mental health service development, to enhance the human resources in the mental health subspecialties. The strategies include integration mental health with primary health care through the NMHP, provision of tertiary care institution for treatment of mental disorder, eradication stigmatization of mentally ill patient, and the protecting their rights through regulatory instruction like the Central Mental Health Care Authority. The district mental health program, the object of district mental health program to provide the suitability basic mental health service of the community and to integrate these services with other health services. Early detection and treatment of the patient in the community itself to reduce the stigma of mental illness through public awareness to treat the rehabilitation mental patient within the community. So these are the possible of mental health care program. Now, National Program for Prevention Control of Deafness. Hearing loss is the most common sensory defect in the human today. As per WHO estimate in India, there are approximately 63 million people who are suffering from significant auditory impairment. This places the estimated prevalence at 6.3% in India population. As per NSSL survey, currently there are 291 persons per 1 lakh population who are suffering from severe to profound hearing loss. A large percentage of children between the age of 0 to 14 years are also suffering from significant auditory impairment. Hence, NPPCD was launched with the purpose of early identification, diagnosis, treatment of ear problems responsible for hearing loss and deafness in them. With such a large number of hearing impairment young Indians, it accounts to a sudden loss of productivity, both physical and economic. And even larger percentage of our population suffer from milder degree of hearing loss of unilateral, means one-sided hearing loss. This program is being implemented by the Ministry of Health and Welfare, Family Welfare with the technical support of Directorate General of Healthcare Service. At the state level, the program is being implemented by the Development of Health and Family Welfare. A state nodal officer, preferably an ENT surgeon at the directorate level, will provide the technical guidance and expertise to the state health society for the purpose of implementation of the program in the various districts of the state. National Program for Prevention the Control of Deafness was initiated on plot basis in the year 2006 and 7, covering 25 districts of 10 states and 1 UT, and has been expanded to 228 districts of 28 states, oblique union territories in a phased manner till now. By the end of 12th 5 year, the Plan 384 district will be taken up the program implementation. The achievement progress, the program has been expanded to 28 districts of 27 states in a phased manner, like training, like skilling camps, like procurement of equipment, like recruitment of manpower, like hearing aids. The future study of this program, the object of this program to prevent the avoidable hearing loss or account disease or injury, early identification, diagnosis, treatment of ear problem responsible for hearing loss and deafness, to medically rehabilitation person of all age groups suffering from deafness, to strengthen the existing intersectoral linkage of community continuity of the rehabilitation program for person and deafness, to develop the institutional capacity for ear care services by providing supporting for equipment, material and training personnel. So these are all about the deafness program. Now the universal immunization program. Immunization program in India was introduced in 1978 as expanded program of immunization by the Ministry of Health and Welfare, Government of India in 1985. The program was modified as Universal Immunization Program UIP to be implemented in phased manner to cover all districts in the country by 1989-90 with a one of largest health program in the world. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India provides several vaccines to infant, children and pregnant women through the Universal Immunization Program. Immunization is the process whereby a person is made immune or resistant to an infectious disease, typically by the administration of a vaccine. Vaccine are the substance that stimulate body's own immune system to protect a person against subsequent infection or disease. Vaccine provided under UIP program, that is BCG vaccine. BCG stand for Bacillus Guinea vaccine. It is given to the infants to protect them from tubercular meningitis and disseminated TB. BCG vaccine is given at birth and as early as possible till first year. BCG vaccine as the intradermal injection in left upper arm. OPV. OPV stands for oral polio vaccine. It protects children from polio. OPV vaccine is given at the birth called 0 dose and 3 dose at the given at 6, 10 and 14. A booster dose is given 16 to 24 months of age. OPV is given orally in time of 2 drops. Hepatitis B vaccine. Hepatitis B vaccine protects from hepatitis B infection. Hepatitis B vaccine is given at the birth as early as possible within 24 hours. Subsequently, 3 doses of 6, 10 and 14 weeks in combination with DPT and in the form of prevalent vaccine. Intramuscular injection is given at the anterior-lateral side of the midrib. Apart from that, pentavalent vaccine, rotavirus vaccine, PCV vaccine, FIPV vaccine, measles vaccine, JE vaccine, DPT booster, tetanus and adult diphtheria vaccine. So these are some other type of vaccines which is given time to time. Now, national programs for control the blindness and implement, which is called NPCB and VI, visual impairment, national visual impairment. So, National Program for Control Blindness and Visual Impairment was launched in the year of 1976 as a 1976 as a 100% central response scheme with the goal of reducing the prevalence of blindness to 0.3% by 2020. Rapid survey on avoidable blindness conducted under NPCB during 2006-7 showed a reduction in the prevalence of blindness 1.1%. Prevalence of blindness 1.1%, survey 0. Survey from 2001 to 2, prevalence on blindness 1% from 2006 to 7. Current survey 2015 to 18 in progress. The projected rate of prevalence of blindness is 0.4%. Prevalence of blindness target of the society is 0.3% by the year of 2010. There are many objectives of this society to reduce the backlog of avoidable blindness through identification and treatment of curable blind at primary, secondary, and tertiary level. based on assessment of the overall burden of visual impairment in the country. So basically, they cure the blindness. Now we are going to discuss the Pulse Polio program. With the global initiative or eradication of polio in 1988, following the World Health Assembly resolution in 1988, Pulse Polio Immunization Program was launched in India in 1995. Children in the age group of 0 to 5 years administered polio drops during the national and sub-national immunization rounds every year. About 172 million children are immunized during each national immunization day. The last polio case in the country was reported from Havra district of West Bengal with the day of onset 13 January 2011. Therefore, thereafter no polio case has been reported in the country till 25 May 2012. WHO on 24 February 2012 removed India from the list of so, the objective of Pulse Polio initiative was started with an objective of achieving 100% coverage under oral polio vaccine. It aimed to immunize children through improved social mobilization, plan mop-up operation in areas where polio virus has almost disappeared, and maintain high level of morale among the people. Now, we are concentrated on national health programs related to mental health and child health. As early I discussed some points I already discussed. Uh, the changing trends in mental health program, family planning and mental health program are integrated. Provision of emerge obstetric care in FRU, trained local diaries. The strategy of this program for emergency essential obstetric care training, operation theatre equipment, emergency service to newborn and children, conservation of village and level immunization. So basically, these are the program of national healthcare programs. Now, the National Family Planning Program. The objective of National Family Planning Program, the percentage reduction in unmet need for spacing method among eligible couples. The percentage reduction in unmet need for terminal methods among eligible couples. The increase in contraceptive prevalence rate among eligible couples. The reduction in percentage for girls very below 18 years. There are lots of family planning camps. The family planning camps are being held at block level, PHS and CHS on every Thursday on the rotation and at district hospital on every Tuesday of this month. So these are the basically about the National Family Planning Program. Now we are going to discuss the National Tobacco Control Program. So, tobacco control program, as the name indicated, the tobacco control program, we control the population, control the tobacco. Government of India, tobacco has been identified as the foremost cause of death in disease that is entirely preventable. Globally, tobacco use is responsible for death at nearly 6 million people as per WHO. If current trends continue by 2020, tobacco use will kill more than 8 million people worldwide each day. It is estimated that 80% of these premature deaths will occur among people living in low and middle income countries. Over the countries of the 21st century, tobacco use could kill a billion people or more unless urgent action is taken. Nearly 8 to 9 lakh of people die every day in India due to disease related to tobacco use, and as per the report of Indian Council of Medical Research. Nearly 50% of cancer in males and 25% of cancer in females in India are directly attributed to tobacco use. Globally, adult tobacco survey 2009-10 conducted in the age of 15 and above, 47.8% of men and 20.3% of women consume tobacco in some form of either. In the objective of program, the public awareness mass media campaign for awareness building and behavioral change. Establishment of tobacco product testing laboratories, so build up regulatory capacity as required under COPTA 2003. Mainstreaming the program component as a part of health delivery mechanism under the National Rural Health Mission framework. Mainstreaming research work, training and alternate groups and livelihood in the collaboration with other nodal ministries. Monitoring and evaluation including surveillance, for example, Global Adult Tobacco Survey India. So these are the main objective of tobacco programs. Now we are going to discuss National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. So means in short we are discussing about the malaria control, history of malaria control. So firstly we will discuss the history of malaria control in India. In 1957, at the India independence, 20% of population of country was estimated to suffer from marking with 75 million cases and zero point 0.8 million deaths due to malaria annually. To combat devastating effect of malaria, the National Malaria Control Program was launched in 1953, built around three key activities: insecticidal residual spray with DDT, monitoring and surveillance of cases and treatment of patients. Malaria related morbidity, mortality in India rapid brought down within few years. Encouraged by the program's success, it was converted to National Malaria Eradication Program in 1958. But in 1976, there was a massive prevalence of malaria with 6.46 million cases reported, attributed to poor health infrastructure and suboptimal monitoring and logistic in many parts of the country. In addition, Plasmodium falciparum resistant to chloroquine and vector resistant to insecticidal were also reported. As a consequence, the modified plan of operation was launched in 1977 with a three-program strategy, that is early diagnosis and prompt treatment, vector control, and community participation. The malaria incidence showed a decline again was also reported. As a consequence, the modified plan of operation in launched in 1977. In order to combat malaria in high transmission area of the country, an enhanced malaria control project EMCP was launched with additional support from the World Bank in 1997. An intensified malaria control project IMCP launched with support of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria (GFATM) in 2005. The malaria control program and other vector-borne disease, namely Kala-Azar, dengue, lymphatic filariasis, Japanese encephalitis, chikungunya, was integrated in the National Vector Program Disease Control Program in 2002. New tools for malaria prevention and control were introduced under the NVBDCP, monovalent RDTS for Plasmodium falciparum detection in 2005. ACT in 2006, LLINS in 2009, antigen detecting bivalent RDTS for detecting of both Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax in 2013, and newer insecticide and larvicide in 2014 and 15. The function of these society is the central nodal agency for prevention and control for six vector-borne disease, that is malaria, dengue, lymphatic filariasis, Kala-Azar, Japanese encephalitis, and chikungunya in India. It is a part of the technical division of the Director General of Health Services, Government of India, equipped with technical expert in the field of public health, entomology, 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 toxicology, parasitology, aspects of vector-borne disease. The Directorate is responsible for framing technical guidelines and policies as to guide the state, and others. The seventh regional officers for health and family welfare MOH and FIGY located at different state headquarters managed by technical person to coordinate and monitor all national health and family welfare programs by close and liaison visits. Now, the National Program for Healthcare for Elderly and Elderly. The National program for healthcare for elderly is an articulation of the international and national commitments of the government as invest under UN Convention on the Right of Person and Disabilities. National policies on older persons, national policies for older persons adopted by the Government of India in 1999 and Section 20. The Maintenance and Welfare of Patient and Senior Citizens Act 2007 dealing with the provision for medical care of senior citizens. The program has envisaged to provide the promotional, preventive, curative rehabilitation service in an integrated manner for the elderly in various government health facilities. The range of services will include health promotion, preventive services, diagnosis and management of geriatric medical problems, out and inpatient. Daycare services, rehabilitation services, and home-based care as the needed district with link to regional geriatric center for providing tertiary level care. The objective of national programs for health care of elderly, the main objective of the program is to provide preventive, curative, rehabilitation services to the elderly person at various level of health care and delivery system of country. Other objective are to strengthen referral system to develop specialized manpower and to promote research in the field of disease related to old age. Now, the World Health Organization. Role of World Health Organization in India. World Health Organization is the United Nations specialized agency of health. It is intergovernment organization work in collaboration with member state, usually through the Ministry of Health. The World Health Organization is responsible for providing the leadership on global health matters, shaping the health research agenda, setting norms and standards, articulating evidence-based policy options, providing technical support to countries and monitoring the assessing health trends. India becoming a part of to WHO Constitution on 12th January 1948, the first session of the WHO Regional Committee for Asia was held in 4 to 5 October 1948. In the office of Indian Ministry of Health, it was augmented by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Prime Minister of India, and was addressed by the WHO Director General Dr. Brooks Insom. India is a member of the state WHO South East India region. So, WHO providing the leadership on matters critical to health, engaging in the participating where joint action is needed, shaping on the research agenda, stimulating the generation, translation, dissemination of valuable knowledge, articulating ethical and evidence-based policy options, monitoring the health situation and assessing the health trends, etc., etc. So whatever the matter I have discussed in the presentation, it is available on the national site of government on the different programs. So thank you so much for carefully listening the presentation and carefully listening the object of the society, object of the trend and society. Thank you, sir.